story to tell. Considered as drivers for closer support of friendly ground troops, the Russian Sukhoi Su-25 and the US A-10 Thunderbolt II both are flying tanks in the sky. They are considered the symbols of the two leading militaries in the world, equipped with advanced armor, low-altitude attack and bombing ability, providing quick action support against enemy ground forces. The American A-10 Thunderbolt II was born after the US military learned from the Vietnam War. Starting in 1972, the US military recognized the need for a specialized aircraft for ground attack purposes. At the time, the Air Force had only three options for ground attack missions: F-4 Phantom, F-111, and A-1 Skyrider. These aircraft were all unsuitable in the new situation. A-10 Thunderbolt II was born to compensate for the gap in air-to-ground combat of the US Air Force, completely overcoming the weaknesses of the F-4, F-111 when participating in ground attack. The Russians began production of the Su-25 in 1978. The birth of the Su-25 closely resembles the A-10. The Soviet Air Force saw the need for the highly survivable low-altitude aircraft to supplement its fleet of attack aircraft. Before the Su-25, Soviet giant aircraft often rely on speed to survive. Aircraft such as the Su-17, Su-22, MiG-23BN, and MiG-27 have only a single engine and have no protective armor. Combat experience in Afghanistan has shown these planes were very vulnerable to ground fire when conducting missions at low altitude. An aircraft with protective armor and two engines was needed to improve survivability. In terms of design, Frankfurt is smaller and more compact overall than the Warthog. The Su-25 and A-10 have maximum takeoff weights of 19.3 tons and 22.7 tons, respectively. A more compact profile also contributes to higher survivability. Su-25 is considered to have better cockpit protection than the A-10, with cockpit armor thicknesses from 10 to 25 mm. Similarly, the A-10 also has a cockpit protected by titanium armor weighing more than 0.5 tons, nearly 4 cm thick. In fact, the battlefield shows that the Su-25 and A-10 are well-protected aircraft. During the Soviet-Afghanistan War, a Frankfurt could take a direct hit from a SAM in either engine or tail and still come back home. During the 1991 Gulf War, an A-10 was hit for 57 mm rounds. Two hit the tail, one exploded in front of the nose, one hit the right wing and detonated the Sidewinder air-to-air missile mounted there. In total, the A-10 had 378 body holes, 17 of which were just below the cockpit. However, the pilot is still safe and can land safely. The main design difference between these two planes is the engine. The A-10's engine is slightly more powerful than the Su-25. It has two TF-34 engines, while the Su-25 is powered by two R-95. The A-10's engines were also more obvious than the Su-25's, easily become the target of ground fire, while the engine of the Su-25 is discreetly designed in the fuselage and protected by titanium armor. In later upgraded versions, the Su-25 is equipped with more powerful R-195 engines. For example, the Su-25K is significantly more agile than the A-10. It has a top speed of 975 km per hour, while the A-10 is 706 km per hour. The frog foot can accelerate better, fly faster, and has pretty much the same rigidity and redundancy that the A-10 does. The Su-25 is more maneuverable than the A-10. For example, the Su-25 is fully capable of performing complex acrobatic maneuvers, while the A-10 is limited to swaying flight angles. According to Magomed Torboev, a Russian military expert, the Su-25's engines are multi-fuel engines, while the A-10 can only fly on jet kerosene. The first generation Su-25 was not equipped with a HUT. In addition, it was not equipped with an autopilot feature. However, it did carry two SPS-141 jamming ports on the middlemost pylons on the wings. Compared to the Su-25, the A-10 is better equipped with an extra HUT for navigation and targeting. The information display makes targeting for the AGM-65 Maverick more intuitive. The A-10A carries the ALQ-131 jamming port on one of the outermost pylons. Both the Su-25 and A-10 are flying arsenals, the fear of the enemy's ground forces. The main weapon of the A-10 is the 30mm GAU-8 Avenger Gatling cannon. This is the most powerful cannon ever mounted on an attack aircraft. The cannon has a rate of fire up to 4,000 rounds per minute. The Su-25 is also equipped with a 30mm twin-barrel cannon. Su-25 has 11 hardpoints with a total payload of about 4 tons. The main ground attack weapons of the Su-25 are rockets, bombs, KS-23, KS-25, KS-29 air-to-surface missiles. Su-25SM can add R-73 air-to-air missile. Meanwhile, the GAU-8 cannon on the A-10 can carry up to 1,174 rounds. In particular, this cannon can fire poor uranium armor-piercing rounds, allowing to destroy tanks and armored vehicles with high efficiency. The A-10 also has 11 weapon hardpoints with a total payload of 7.2 tons, which has an advantage over the Su-25. The A-10 can also carry conventional bombs, cluster bombs, AGM-65 Maverick air-to-ground missiles, and AIM-9 sidewinders, fitted to LAQ-105 launchers on the outermost pylons. Early versions of the Su-25 had limited avionics. Russia has recently upgraded the Su-25 to SM standard with new avionics, allowing for more effective combat. The Su-25 SM3 is Russia's most modernized version, almost completely new. It was fitted with new engines, replacing virtually all equipment and avionics systems. Su-25 SM3 can fight back fighters or bombers, destroying unmanned aircraft with R-77 and R-27 air-to-air missiles. To increase survival on the battlefield, the Su-25 SM3 was fitted with an Vibec-25 electronic warfare system, which disturbed the self-guided warheads of the man-powered mobile missile. The A-10C being the large-scale modernization for the USA. Upgrades including an improved fire control system, electronic countermeasures, and smart bombs targeting. The aircraft also received all-weather combat capability and hand-on throttle and stick configuration, mixing the F-16 fly stick with the F-15 throttle. Other changes included two multifunction displays, a modern communications suite including a Link 16 radio and SATCOM. The modernization of the A-10 allows it to carry precision-guided munitions, including laser and GPS guided bombs and cluster bombs, easier spotting and identification of targets, and makes it possible to carry 3 smart bombs on the triple ejector racks, allowing for a much greater payload. The actual battlefield has proven the A-10 and the Su-25 have their own strengths. They are the most powerful ground support aircraft in the world today. In general, although these two flying tanks are relatively similar, one can still see difference in the strengths of each one considering how the internal systems are developed. The A-10 has an advantage in very powerful automatic cannon fire, self-guided fire and foreground missile. The Su-25 is strong in precision bombing, laser-guided missiles. The Su-25 has the advantage of speed and maneuverability, while the A-10 excels in its payload. Basically, these aircraft play a decisive role in victory in the war against guerrilla war, riot, as in Syria. The Su-25 is one of the clearest evidence of the Russian Air Force's strength. Since its first combat in the Soviet-Afghanistan War in the 1980s, the Su-25 has been used in all Soviet and Russian conflicts from Chechnya to Georgia and Syria. Similarly, since serving in the US military, the A-10 has always been deployed to the battlefields in which the US has participated. The A-10 Thunderbolt II is a nightmare for infantry and enemy tanks. The US plans to retire the A-10 in 2022, while Russia continues to upgrade the Su-25 to continue on mission for many more years. My video of Russian Su-25 and US A-10 ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.